Hello there, Internet. Today's big story is actually not today's story, but it is a story that the news has been focusing on for weeks now. The actual event, the actual incident, happened on February 26th in a town in Florida, Sanford, Florida. A young man, African-American man, 17 years old, named Trayvon Martin, was walking home one night after going to the convenience store to buy some candy, some Skittles. It's a kind of candy, colorful rainbow colored candy, and some iced tea. He was going to his girlfriend's father's house. It was raining, it was dark. He was talking on his cell phone he was talking to his girlfriend on his cell phone, and he noticed someone was following him. That man was George Zimmerman. Now, George Zimmerman is part of a community or neighborhood watch program. These are volunteers that patrol the neighborhood looking for suspicious characters. And George Zimmerman thought that Trayvon Martin was acting suspicious. So he started following him. And because George was following Trayvon, maybe Trayvon started to act strange because he noticed that George was following him. Anyway, we don't really know what happened next, but George Zimmerman did call the police department to report this suspicious character, Trayvon. And the police department, the police told him on the telephone, don't follow him. You don't have to follow him. But something happened. There was an altercation. An altercation is some kind of conflict, a fight. Maybe they struggled, maybe they fought, we don't know. There was some sort of altercation, and George Zimmerman took out his gun and he shot and killed Trayvon Martin. Now, that was a month ago, and the police came, but they decided that there was not enough evidence to arrest George Zimmerman for any crime. They couldn't find any evidence that he did anything wrong. But Trayvon Martin's family was very angry, and they began to protest, and more people joined them, and now it's a big deal. They're even asking the FBI to come in and investigate this case. One of the key points of this incident is that Trayvon Martin was wearing a hoodie. And some people have said that the hoodie makes everyone look suspicious and you shouldn't wear hoodies, especially if you're African American, black, if you're black like Trayvon Martin, or Hispanic. Now, in this case, actually, George Zimmerman is Hispanic. He's half white and half Peruvian, but he's a white Hispanic. So we have two minorities here. And it's a very sad case, but people are protesting all over America, and many people are trying to show their solidarity. Solidarity means support. They're trying to show their solidarity by putting on hoodies, by wearing hoodies. And that's the big story today. So let me just go through some simple sentences for you, and some more complicated sentences. The first one, of course, is very simple. Trayvon Martin was shot and killed. It's his passive tense. Trayvon Martin was shot and killed. George Zimmerman shot and killed him. That's what happened. George Zimmerman shot and killed him. There was an altercation. And this happened. This is the same information, just passive tense and active tense. Trayvon Martin was shot and killed, passive, and George Zimmerman shot and killed him, active, or SVO. Subject, verb, object. George claims self-defense. Self-defense is when you protect yourself. George says, I was protecting myself. George claims self-defense. People say George racially profiled Trayvon. People say George racially profiled Trayvon. Now the word racial profiling is when the police, usually the police or maybe immigration or customs agents at the airport, they look for a special kind of person. They don't think everyone is suspicious, only certain people. For example, if you're looking for a drug dealer and you're racially profiling, you might look for blacks or Hispanics with long hair, or young men, or young white men with kind of cool or punk haircuts, or people with tattoos. When you pick people because they have tattoos or certain hair or they are a certain race, then that's called racial profiling. And many people are against this. Many people, now usually this is a noun, but in this case it's a verb. People say George racially profiled Trayvon. He saw Trayvon and he said, ah, young black man. He must be a criminal, or he might be a criminal. I'm going to follow him. George claims that Trayvon winked for his gun. To go for is to reach for. So George talked to Trayvon, and George says Trayvon tried to grab George's gun. But nobody really knows what happened, and nobody will know what happened. Nobody will ever know what happened. This is a common, these two sentences we often say in cases like this. Nobody really knows what happened, and nobody will ever know what happened. Trayvon was wearing a hoodie when he was killed. Notice I said wearing, not putting on. That's wrong. At the time he was killed, he was wearing a hoodie. And so now many people across America are protesting. In Japanese English you say demo, but we say protesting usually. Or demonstrating, that's okay too. And they are showing solidarity by wearing hoodies to show that they support Trayvon Martin's case and his family. And that's the big story today. It's a very sad case, but if you look all over the internet, you will find many videos and pictures. If you type hoodie into the Google search engine, you'll find many pictures about this. And type in hoodie and protest or hoodie and Trayvon Martin, and you will see many videos and pictures about this story. It's a big deal, it's a big story, it's a very sad story. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but at the time I'm making this video, George Zimmerman has not been arrested yet. Will he be arrested? We don't know. Keep watching, watch the news, it's a great way to learn English. My name is Victor, the Action Teacher. Thanks for studying with me. If you're interested in more of my videos or more private lessons, I do namahoso or live internet lessons at this site. So just check here and join me sometime. Either way, study, keep studying, never give up. It's hard to learn English. And good luck. Study hard, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.